Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, happy Monday. Welcome to another Market Open stream. Today, of course, let's talk about what's going on with the U.S. market. Also, Bitcoin's path to 30,000 and beyond. And lastly, what is this new Ethereum of Bitcoin project? Let's talk about all these things and more. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing good, had a good weekend. You know what? This week is off to a pretty good start, I would say. The futures market, pretty green. The market bell is going to ring in a couple minutes. Bitcoin, you can see, climbing up from a low of 22.5, and now it's back to 23.8, and we could be right back above 24 in no time, maybe even by the end of the stream, and maybe testing 25K once again. So things are looking pretty good so far to the start of this week, and I do believe it could get even better. So this week, what's happening? Well, you have a lot of earnings. Last week was actually the worst trading week of the year for the U.S. market, but you have a lot of earnings. Some of the big companies like Target, Dollar Tree, Lowe's, Best Buy, Macy's, Nordstrom, Costco are all set to report this week. Obviously, we'll be in focus because people want to know how much consumers are still spending, right? How many people are still going to Costco every week or going to Target every week or even going to Best Buy periodically? People want to know, right? So these earnings are going to be pretty big, I would say. And there's the market bell. Market bell. Best bell in the industry. So there's that. And also there's a lot of economic data, of course. Durable goods orders, pending homes, consumer confidence, vehicle sales, etc., right? So there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff coming this week. But overall, people are still wondering if the economy is getting better or worse. And I would say we are definitely on our path to recovery. Things have not fixed themselves. I don't know if they ever will. Inflation is still high, but we're coming down. Demand is softening, but not weak, right? Jobs is still looking good. Unemployment is still looking good. So overall, I would say we're in recovery. So that's the bottom line, but we'll take it a day at a time. However, there are some people that don't want to take it a day at a time. They want to get into something better. There's a new survey from Coinbase. 2,000 Americans. And 20% already own crypto, and the vast majority, meaning more than 20%, see an urgent need to update a financial system. They don't. These are the people that I've been talking about that have been paying attention to what's been happening in the last few years, not only in the U.S., but around the world, right? The financial system is broken, and it's being patched up by Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid. And if you don't want to be in this system, which eventually is going to break, well, you need to get out of the system and get into something better. And that's Bitcoin, of course, and other crypto, but mostly Bitcoin because it's the greatest store of value that we have, right? But it's true, though. I mean, there's still a ton of people that don't know anything about Bitcoin and crypto, but these days, a lot more hold crypto than you would think. Even where I'm living, I have neighbors that just, they hold it, and I didn't think they did, right? And some of them secretly watch me, and I didn't know that either. So there's a lot more than you think that's turning to Bitcoin and crypto right now, which is why, take a look at this staggering stat. Bitcoin supply held for at least 6 months is now 78% of the circulating supply. Just think about that. Close to 80% of all Bitcoin in existence is being held right now by holders that's been holding longer than 6 months. Okay, and that number continues to climb. You know, all these graphs I showed you guys just, I think yesterday, the day before, about 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, they're all climbing sky high. Now 6 months, wow, I mean, it just seems to go up and up and up. And the only times this really deviates and goes down is when we have a bull run. When we have a cycle top and all these newbies come into the space, that's the only time the supply actually really starts moving because there are a lot of people buying. Otherwise, the holders just continue to grow and continue to DCA, and that's why this number keeps going up and up and up. Imagine when one day this becomes like 95% or 99%, right? Then Bitcoin will truly become super scarce. And by that time, Bitcoin could be $1 million each, right? So great things are happening. Look at this. Cryptocurrencies resilient despite weaker equity markets, according to Citibank. Even analysts from banks are recognizing, right? Kind of caught off guard. Why is crypto so strong? It's because people believe, people want to opt out of financial markets, and people continue to DCA and HODL more and more and more. And this is why 40, or I should say before 40K, 30K is right around the corner. Some people are now predicting we only need a month to get to 30K. Maybe we need less than that, right? After we break through 25.2, which is a very important resistance, after that, 30K is right around the corner. And there are many people that are projecting that that could come very, very soon through technical analysis, right? But we know as more and more people come into this space and as supply keeps diminishing, I mean, it's just going to drive price up. It's really that simple. But short term, a lot of technicals do support this theory that we will hit 30K very, very soon. And you know what happens after we break 30K? According to this, 30K is basically the neckline, okay? That's the previous bottom from 2021. When we fell down from 64,000 down to about 30K, actually it was a little bit below, about 28.8, but I'm just rounding up to 30K, right? And why that's important is because you look at previous cycles, whenever we have broken above the neckline breakout, tremendous things have happened. Really good things happen, with the exception of 2019, because we did fall down in 2020 due to the COVID crash. Everything crashed then, right? But if you would have discounted that, maybe we would have just gone up even more. But regardless, that was just a blip. You can see we moved past it, right? So 30K is only the beginning. After we break through 30K, that's when we start really heading higher. And who knows how high Bitcoin is going to be by the end of the next bull run. 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. I mean, there's a lot of predictions, right? A lot of predictions. And how long will it last? 549 days, like last time? Think about a parabolic run upwards of 500 and something days, 549 days, over a year. And that could be coming or starting pretty soon, not this year, but starting from the halving event, which is next year, about March of next year, March or April, so about 1 year from now, we are getting ready to launch. But up until then, we could still have a really good recovery. Possibly looking at this is projecting somewhere between like 40K. I would say this is projecting like 40 to 50K. So can we hit 50K before the next bull run? I mean, yes, certainly. And here's another one that's kind of just like looking at where we are now versus a previous cycle, right? And the similarities are just very, very eerie. It's just really very, very, very similar. This is comparing it to the 2015 bottom and recovering upwards. Very, very, very similar, right? So all good things. All good things. And greater highs will be coming. You just have to be patient. The ticket to admission for massive crypto gains is really patience. That's really it if you think about it. People talk about crypto and how explosive it is, but it goes both ways. There's a lot of volatility both ways. But people that have made the most are the ones that had the most patience. I mean, really, it comes down to that. So the price of admission to crypto gains, or massive crypto gains, or massive Bitcoin gains, whatever, is patience. Just having patience, right? And think about it. just waiting 2 more years for life-changing wealth. Who wouldn't want to be patient, right? It's not that much longer. Anyways, okay, so outside of that, let's talk about what is this ETH of Bitcoin, right? The Ethereum of Bitcoin. I'm labeling that. I don't know if anyone else said that, but it makes a whole lot of sense. So there's just a lot of enthusiasm right now over the new NFT ordinals that's on top of Bitcoin. It's using inscriptions. It's a new upgrade to Bitcoin that came from Taproot, and basically you could store images and text on Bitcoin's chain within blocks. And because of it, NFTs can now exist, right? You guys have heard me talk about it, but it's getting very, very popular. And because of this, it's bringing up enthusiasm back to the possibility that maybe you don't need to have all these dApps outside of Bitcoin. Maybe you could have all these dApps that we already have. Maybe you could have that all exist within chain, within Bitcoin's chain, right? That is why so many people are starting to turn to this one project that exists called Stacks, okay? Stacks have been around for years, but there not a whole lot of enthusiasm over Stacks or momentum because basically it's programmable. It's a programmable virtual machine that integrates with Bitcoin, okay? But it's picked up because of how popular ordinals are, and I kind of predicted this. Some Bitcoin maxes hate ordinals because they don't want to clog up the chain, and I get that, right? But, you know, NFTs bring in a lot of newcomers in this space, or just new people that maybe never looked at Bitcoin and now they're looking at Bitcoin. But because of that, it's also bringing more people in to look at, well, maybe I could build my dApp on top of Bitcoin, or maybe I can, you know, port my Ethereum dApp to Bitcoin, right? And that's what Stacks is looking to do. And in fact, right, they are coming out with something that will basically replicate your dApp from some other chain and bring it onto the Bitcoin blockchain. So that could be absolutely huge, right? But they already have smart contracts, and looking at their applications, they actually have a decent amount of applications. Like I said, they've been around for years. So if you want DeFi, yeah, they have DeFi projects that's within the Stacks ecosystem already. You're looking for staking pools? Yeah, they exist. There's also NFTs that exist outside of ordinals, right? And there's just a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of dApps that already exist on top of blockchain with the help of Stacks. Just not a whole lot of people are paying attention to them, but as let's just say ordinals gets hotter, and as the market recovers, and as Stacks gets bigger, you know, it will definitely bring more dApp makers to the space, right? And Stacks also has really good wallet support too. So if you look at their wallets, they already have 6 wallets, and these wallets are now upgraded so that they can actually see those ordinal NFTs, right? At first, like, you could have the NFT, but you can't really see it. But now you could actually see it in these wallets as well. So bottom line, Stacks has been around for years. They're still relatively small. I mean, I just looked at them. They've been pumping up a lot recently, but they're still around 1.2 billion, which is still considered small cap. But, you know, I'm just trying to picture if Stacks really gains momentum and becomes the ETH of Bitcoin, can they possibly move up to, say, like top 10 eventually? Who knows? Who knows? The one weak point to Stacks is the fact that it is utilizing the Bitcoin chain. It utilizes the blocks. It stores all the information on the blocks. So it actually takes 10 minutes for confirmation. That's the only downside to Stacks as far as I could see. So it is very slow. But who knows? Maybe there's going to be a layer 2 that's developed for Stacks for Bitcoin. You know, that could be coming as well. But it's early, but it's very exciting. So that's who I think is the Ethereum of Bitcoin right now, Stacks. And I don't really think there's any competition. I don't know of any other projects that does this. So, yeah, so I just want to cover that real quick. And speaking of layer 2s, Shibarium is getting ready to blast off. So you better strap on for it. I don't actually know when, but still, there's been hyped for quite some time. Bone, which is going to be used for gas within Shibarium, has been going up quite a lot. SHIB itself has not been going up, but their address is going up. So everyone's waiting to see what happens when Shibarium gets released, which is a layer 2 for Ethereum. Not for Bitcoin, but for Ethereum. And who knows what's going to come. But it'll make it a lot more useful. For example, the SHIB swap, which is a DEX, is not that good right now. But once it moves to Shibarium, it becomes really fast. It could be great. You know, there's a lot of things that could be moved to Shibarium right away. So get ready for that. And lastly, I saw this. In terms of staking, this is an article about liquid staking, but I just want to show you guys the staking thing. Because speaking of Ethereum, the staking ratio of Ethereum is really, really lagging compared to other proof-of-stake chains. For example, this is crazy. BNB, 97% of BNB is staked right now. 71.8% of Cardano staked. About 70% Solana staked. And 64% of Avalanche staked. But Ethereum is only 14%. And this is probably because everyone's afraid to stake ETH because you can't take it out. Okay? There's just a mental cap. Like, I don't want to stake ETH if I can't take it out. But this could change with the Shanghai upgrade, which is coming next month. Because they will make it so that people can stake and unstake anytime they want. And because of that, that can eliminate that mental block and could cause the staking ratio to jump up significantly. Think about that. Think about going from 14% all the way to, say, 70% of ETH staked. And then you take into account the burning that's still happening, right? And all the liquidity locked up in liquidity pools, in DEXs. I mean, that's very deflationary at that point, right? So just want to bring that up. Some people have been disappointed with Ethereum's current price movement, but it could certainly change after the next upgrade. All right, that is pretty much it. Overall, what did the market cap? I mean, what did the U.S. market open at? Pretty good green. That's what we want to see. Overall market cap is also up. So it's a good day so far. All right, let's do some Q&A. Dude Viper says Bitcoin 30K by end of April. Very reasonable estimation. Tesla is going berserk, someone says. Is that really? I did not check Tesla, but I hope they are. Well, they're going up 4% today. So that's pretty good. MicroStrategy is up. Coinbase is not up. I don't know about this is going berserk, but Catcoin is back on Ethereum. Look at the Catcoin project. I'm sorry, Boba Fett. I cannot. Just that name alone makes me not want to look at it. I can't. Vida Nasi. No one blocked you for asking what's going on with I Am George NFTs, okay? You are exaggerating and you need to cool it. The perks promised is for GeorgeCon, right? Which, of course, did not happen yet and will, so you need to stay patient. That's it. All right? Stop being like a bitch about it. Do you think loser Gensler will affect the bull run? I don't know. I just talked about it yesterday, so he's certainly not making it easy. He's certainly causing a lot of FUD out there. All right. So we need people to fight back. We need not only people to fight back, but companies to fight back. We need companies that have the resources to fight back, and put him in his place, because right now he goes unchallenged. That's the real problem. Just because Gensler says something does not mean that it's law. It's just his interpretation. We need people to actually push back on it, you know, or to have the courts actually rule on it, because right now he's just like saying whatever he wants. Will Lido 10x by the next bull run? Your thoughts? I'd say so. I mean, Lido got really strong. I heard of them, you know, while they were small, but didn't really think that they would stand out that much. But they really, really, really benefited because of liquid staking of ETH, and that really propelled them upwards. So they're at 2.7 billion. Can they do a 10x to 27 billion? I mean, yes, but yeah, the market has to be in full bull run mode, right? We're talking about like 2025 bull run mode. Until then, I don't think it's going to do anywhere close to 10x. According to CoinMarketCap, Ro's top 10 holders have 99.58% of supply. Is that bad? Yes. That's very bad if that's true. At the top 10 holders, that may not be true. Maybe it's looking at like wallets of exchanges, but still that sounds concerning if that's true. That seems to be way too high. SEC, Doge 256. SEC is acting like a monopoly in terms of control of the crypto sector. Bullying small companies is the evidence. Yes, it does seem like. You know, here's the thing. Gensler like has to resort to bully small companies because he knows he can't win against the big companies. The big companies have deep pockets that will fight the SEC forever. Right? This is why the SEC hates Tesla, because Elon never caves in, right? like Gary can't do anything with Tesla, basically. That's why, and Elon doesn't care. He just like bashes the SEC nonstop on Twitter, because Gary really has no power, right? But he wants to portray that he does, so he's just making all these rules and then attacking the small companies. That's how I feel, at least in crypto space. In the equity space, I mean, SEC has been around for a long time, so there's a lot of rules in place already. But in crypto space, he's just like winging it, you know? It's like whatever he thinks, he's implementing, but he's going after the small guys because he doesn't want to be challenged. But, you know, I think a lot of projects are waiting to challenge SEC if it comes to it. So yeah, I think that's my interpretation. We just need more people to stand up to him and fight back, really. Because Congress they're too busy with other things right now. I mean, you know, Gary's doing it right now because he knows Congress is also distracted. There's a lot of Congress people that hate what Gary's doing. But they just have more concerning matters to vote on. I don't think I'm going to do any April Fool's stuff anymore because every time I do it, I offend a lot of people. I forgot what I did last year. Was it on the People's Currency or Litecoin? One of the two. I don't know. But every time I do it, I get pissed off a whole bunch of people. So maybe I need to stop doing that. How will ETH burning be affected by after scaling? Scaling bundles many transactions into one. You're talking about ZK rollups. Yeah, burning will be effective for sure. Because burning is based on how much congestion is on chain, and if there's not a lot of congestion, then there's not gonna be that much burning, right? So it will be affected. Huang, I can't pronounce that name. Hung, I think. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Yes, Doge, that's pretty much it. Like, you can't really say anything anymore. You can't really joke around anymore, especially if you're in the public. It's everything is getting blown out of proportion. For April Fools, have Altcoin Daily host your show in your studio. No thanks. No thanks. Ace Jones CEO. BitBoy said that about Gary. Sounds like you just repeated him. Or maybe he heard me say it and repeated me. I don't watch anyone else's show. I don't watch anyone else's show. So I have no idea what anyone have said before. But I do know my show starts the earliest. So I do think a lot of people look at what I say and then repeat it. So that's just my thought process. Whether that's true, I don't know. Celsius clawbacks are coming and horrible. I don't know if that's true. I think they're talking about it. Doesn't mean that it's set in stone. I don't think that's the case. I think there's going to be too much pushback. So if it happens, it'll be horrible, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but it just seems like there's no way that they could actually legitimately do it, especially with retail investors. I don't know. Ronnie, appreciate it. What do you prefer, US, European, or Japanese cars? If I wanted a really reliable car, Japanese. If I wanted a luxury car, European. If I wanted a truck, it would be American. That's just how it is. If you want a nice luxury car, you go German. If you want a dependable car, you go with Toyota or Honda. You want a truck, you go Ford. It's really that simple. Shibarium will be a game changer. We'll see. We'll see. Ever since Sheeb, I'll be honest, and a lot of you guys know this. When Sheeb started rising up, I discounted it. I hated it. I'm like, it's just another copy of Doge, right? We don't need another meme coin. But after Sheeb settled, and then they kind of announced, where did the Sheeb go? They kind of announced like their future plans, and this was like years ago, so it was nowhere close. But they announced that they were going to do a DEX, they're going to do NFTs, they're going to do their layer 2, right? They're going to implement burning. They came out the whole roadmap, and then I'm like, okay, if they could really go after it and accomplish some of these things, then it makes them less like a meme coin and more like a true L2 project, right? And they're fulfilling that right now. They're proving it to everyone that they are actually doing all these things. So that's why I like Sheep now more than Doge, because Doge has really nothing going for it other than Elon. But Sheep has been doing a lot. So I like Sheep now. I like Sheep. I think Shibarium could be a game changer if they could get enough dApps on board. I don't know. I don't know how many dApps will come on to Sheeb's Shibarium, but if they can get a lot of dApps, that's going to be very big for them. Donald, I'm not sold on ICP. I'm not sold on ICP. Um, there's a couple things that I'm not sold on. Number one is they're very heavily into KYC. And number two, there was something else. I forgot what it was. I have to remind myself. Let's see if I can pull it up. Yeah, it has a lot of KYC. There's very heavy VC involvement, and I do think a large proportion of ICP is held by the team. So, I don't know. There's no max supply listed, so it looks like out of the total supply right now, about half, a little bit more than half is out, but still, the token economics, I don't know. It doesn't seem like there is a set supply. Anyways, I'm just not a fan of ICP. Am I a vet hater? No. But I hate the fact that dealerships are marking them up by like 50 to 100K. And that's on GM. They could stop that if they wanted to. I mean, Ford does that too. Ford could stop that if they wanted to, right? But this whole archaic dealership network, however structured, has so much power that the manufacturers can't even control their prices, and that's ridiculous. They need to do something about that. If I want to go buy a vet, it should be at least at MSRP, not 20K over just to place an order, right? Or I have to put down 50K over or 100K over to order a Z06 or E-Ray. It's just ridiculous. Is Tesla coming down again, though? I don't know what you mean by that. Like, coming down to like $100? I don't think so. That should have never happened. When Bitcoin was like at 15K, Tesla was getting decimated down to like 102 or something. I said both were just too damn low. I even said that. I'm like, Tesla, there's no way it could go down from like 105 to 50. Just like there's no way that Bitcoin would have went from 15 to like 7K or half, right? It was just too low, too oversold. So they're both coming up, from bottom quite well, quite rapidly also. Bought a Mach E, awful buying experience with the dealer. At a 1K at closing just because they could. Oh, that sucks, dude. That sucks. I mean, this is the problem. Dealerships are still making people hate the buying experience. The haggling and stuff on new cars have diminished prior to this whole COVID thing. Like, in 2019, 2018, the haggling thing has diminished, but not completely gone. But now it's to the point where you're haggling over overages. Like, I don't remember a time when buying just even normal cars, like a RAV4, I don't remember a time ever before where you had to pay over MSRP. That doesn't happen. There's incentives to sell new cars and like 0% financing, all that stuff, right? But now you go to Toyota dealership, you're paying 10K over for a RAV4. That's just so ridiculous. But it happens. Francisco, what happened to my home build? Nothing. It's still building. I just don't show it anymore because someone freaked me out. Whether he intended it or not, he did, and I'm like, no more. Maybe once the house starts getting built on the inside more, then I could showcase it a little bit more. But yeah, that was not a pleasant experience. ICP is insane clown posse. All right. Let's see. We're looking good this morning. Just need a little push, and we'll be right back above into 24-ish, right? Where we were before, 24.2, 24.4, 24.8. Then we need to push past that 25 again. Nissan dealership wanted 20K over for the Nissan Aria. You know, I don't know what Nissan is doing, but that Aria is not going to change things for them. Nissan is a completely dead brand to me. Nissan is like, they have no clue what's going on. Their Titan is a failure. Their Frontier is a failure. They have made the Murano a failure. Murano was the hottest crossover SUV before. Now no one buys it because they haven't updated it for so long. The new Pathfinder, no one is buying that. The new Rogue, no one's buying that. Rogue was at one point in time, years ago, it was the #1 selling compact SUV. And then it dropped to 3. And now, I don't know where it is. It's like probably within the top 10, but has fallen a lot. And the Maxima is dead. Ultima, okay. The Sentra, the whatever else, the smaller car. Their Leaf, their new Aria. Although I haven't tested it. I've seen it. I haven't tested it. But Nissan is just, I don't know what they're doing. It's a little bit too late. They got a new CEO. Now they're trying to rebrand and kind of get everything refreshed. But for too long, they were just doing nothing. What's your opinion on Litecoin? The same as Nissan. You know, it's like, why buy a Nissan when you could buy a Toyota, right? And that's Bitcoin. So why buy Litecoin when you could buy Bitcoin? That's the best analogy I could give. Even GTR, even Nissan screwed up out of GTR. Think about it. When GTR came out, it was like the most amazing car because it was being sold for like 80,000 and a performance of a Ferrari, right? And then what happened for the last 15 years, 14, 15 years, has not changed. Has not changed at all. And the competition just blew it away. Now you have everything. You have SUVs that could blow away at GTR's performance. I mean, they haven't even done anything with the GTR. They need to come out the new one and blow people away again, but it's hard to do because now Corvettes are so good. You know, the new Z06 is amazing for its performance at the price point it's at. Even the regular Stingray is amazing performance for the price point it's at. So it's hard to see GTR doing better. Yeah, and the new Nissan Z is garbage too. I totally forgot about that. I did review it. I hate to say it, but the new Z is garbage. The Supra is much better than the Z. All right, someone was saying OP was exploding. No, it's good. Back above $3. I've been talking a lot about optimism, layer 2 for Ethereum, and they've been gaining a lot of traction. Layer 2s are pretty hot right now. But that's pretty good performance in the last 60 days, 224%. Lambo over Ferrari, Ferrari owned by Fiat. So Lambo's owned by VW. Is that better? Lambos are just basically Audis and VWs. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I'd take a Ferrari over Lambo any day. Which, in fact, I did because I did buy a Ferrari and not a Lambo. What's my card channel? Drivers only. Everyone should go take a look. I know a lot of you guys get pissed off about when I talk about cards. First of all, you need to chill, okay? Second of all, I do want to do more live chat just on cards. I would love to do it on my drivers only channel, but the last few times I tried it, a lot of you guys just didn't show up, and I was just talking to like 5 people in the live chat, and it was very awkward. But if you guys do want to do a live chat just for cards on my drivers only channel, I would love to do like a show once a week or something about it. Just let me know. I mean, there's people that threaten to unsubscribe when I talk about cars. Like, they'll write in the comments, George, this is not a car channel. If you talk about cars again, I'm going to unsubscribe. And that's when I say, okay. And then I ban them from the channel. I'm like, if you're that pissed off about it, you need to chill. You need to take a chill pill. Or you need to go smoke some pot or something. You need to chill. All right, guys. Let's conclude today. Overall, hey, Bitcoin is still going higher. We could see 24,000 again by the end of tonight. So we'll see. U.S. market is doing good. The path to 30,000 is already set. Just got to be patient. The holders are making it happen. And the ETH of Bitcoin stacks. Looks interesting. All right, guys, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.